Systems on me. Three screen screen. AZ Stevens. Clear for launch. Hands tied, lights flash, red to green. Every breath is gasoline. Code and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines dancing the noise. I find my calm, adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport domination. Full send nation, rise again. Full send nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane. In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ. Full send, full send. Full send, full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsports built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah. Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever. Engines live, telemetry synced. Stevens Motorsports, lock it in. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Every heartbeat's louder than the rest. The rig's alive, the lights go green. This is more than a race, it's a dream machine.
Good evening, everybody. We are back with YESCAR trucks tonight. It says we're supposed to be at Talladega, but we are at Auto Club for tonight's race. Before we get too far into things, I think that something needs to be said regarding the events of today. I think if you grew up in the 2000s watching NASCAR, you know, you watched him. There was a lot of races, a lot of wins. 515 races, 19 wins, 175 top 10s, 13 poles. Greg Biffle was only 55 years old. Our condolences to him and his entire family. But moving on, we're here at Auto Club tonight. We got a whole host of drivers in this field. We'll get some race info up for you. We got 70 laps tonight, one fast repair, 4 sets of tires. It is 65 degrees in the air, 82 on the track. They did make a last minute switch to this just because of the fact that the draft model apparently is now broken in the trucks as well. So that's a thing that we get to deal with. I haven't driven this truck yet, and I was hoping to next week. But it, you know, it is what it is, and that's what it is. We'll get some logos up. We'll get the track map up. But I think we're still in for a good show regardless. These guys actually practiced in the daytime, and now it's nighttime. So it'll make things a lot more interesting, I think. Now, remember, these guys are on reduced fuel, so that will add in a stop at some point. I'm expecting green flag pit stops, especially with the racing that we've seen in this series so far. So it should be a very, very good time. As we've got Chris Gutierrez on the top of the board right now. I finally had some luck turn around though. Finally was able to get some clean races in at Daytona. So that's been a positive so far in the last couple of days. And another fun, interesting note. I can't discuss too much of it, but I can tell you that that as far as I am concerned, I am a beta tester for the new AI chief that is looking to come out soon. Hopefully I can give you guys a lot of details on that as things get developed. Really exciting stuff. Kind of cool to be in on the ground floor of that. So, like I said, as soon as I'm allowed to talk about it, I'll bring you guys all the information in a video and all that stuff. But it should be pretty cool. You know, as a lot of you guys know, I've used DRE for a long time. And there's a lot of good features there, but I think there's a lot of things that can capitalize on some things, some tweaks that fit more the oval side of things. But overall, I think it's kind of a cool project, a fun project to be a part of. So I'm stoked for it. I tested it out a little bit last night, but it's gonna be a game changer. I should be able to talk about that sometime around the end of March. There's actually a lot of guys in here, as Rickle just pointed out, that are using Chief currently. I have been running in tandem to be able to test out various things and give some feedback. But so far, so good. I've been pretty happy with it. And I think a lot of guys are going to be excited with it when they're finally able to get it here. You know, after tonight, I believe, and I'll have to just check the schedule really quick if I can get my stupid mouse to work. So we've got 3 rounds left counting this one. We'll be at Indy in 2 weeks with Homestead to finish everything up. We will have the next 2 weeks off with Christmas and in the new year. So that'll change a few things there. As these guys are getting pretty close to finishing up, I do believe. Let's go back to see if we can't find somebody exciting. There we go. We'll do that. Connor Wool back on the screen. We got Travis Trussell out for a qualifying run. But oh man, and then we got big news. We got Taco John in the field tonight. John actually got his first WNIS win today at Watkins Glen in a Premier Racing setup. So JD got one last night. Taco got one today. Seems like the setup for Watkins Glen's working pretty good. So if you don't have a set yet, I suggest heading over there and maybe picking one up. Timothy Wright finishing up his qualifying lap. What else do we got? Andrew Winans now on track. He's just coming off of pit road. It sounds like, Tyler, they gave it the Gen 4 draft model. So, Rickle, if you want to plug your discount code, go for it. You can put it in the chat. You can use Rickle's discount code at checkout. I do believe it's 15% off, too. Tyler, I'm not real sure. I think it stalls things out more than anything, quite honestly. Because the Gen 4, I mean, you get next to somebody and it's like driving a next gen. I don't know why they keep using the next gen draft model on a lot of things, but it's not very realistic. So man, you see them trucks get real loose and come down across the apron. Oh, that's even worse, Rickle. Love it. Travis's first lap only good enough for 15th. It's not very normal for him, so we'll have to see if he can drive it through the field. Who do we got up top? I'm looking for somebody in particular, and I don't know. I'm going to pick on B3 a little bit. Buddy, you're fast in these trucks. What are you doing in 19th? Oh! Travis Trussell not able to improve upon his time there. Well, it's bouncing back and forth, Rickle. Name your animal's name. Your mother's maiden name. We're not going to do that. They're not doing that, Tyler. You're funny. Yeah, it keeps bouncing back and forth between Travis and Andrew just because they're the only two on track. And one's got an orange, or both of them have orange trucks, so it's kind of, you got to pay attention to the number. I know reading is a little hard, Rickle, but it's very interesting to me that it looks like the setup is broken. If you watch the left front tire and the left front fender, the tire goes through the fender, which is kind of comical. You just see it kind of poke up into the Goodyear side. You gotta imagine we've got to be flipping over here any second. And I do believe, I don't know why that keeps pausing. What just happened to my iRacing? That's weird. acted. So the draft policy fix is going to be an absolute nightmare next week. PRS has a set. Ooh, I like it, Rickle. I like it. All right. Well, let's get to your starting lineup for tonight. We've got Chris Gutierrez putting it on the pole with a 40.786. Tyler Statton's going to be second. Connor Walbeck starts third. Joe Sullivan to his outside. Rickle to the inside in P5. Keith Powell going to start sixth. Andrew Winans is seventh. Joseph Wint is eighth. Timothy Wright's ninth. Big Duke is 10th. Ryan Perrone starts 11th. Holden Wheeler is starting 12th. Garrett Bobo starts 13th. Charles Abbott starts 14th. Travis Trussell is 15th. Taco John 16th. Ty Smith starts 17th. Josh Laughlin is 18th. B3 starts 19th. Juan Velez is 20th. Rob Kemp is 21st. Paul Lawson 22nd. Tyler Bryan is 23rd. Paul Boomershine starts 24th. Josh Dillaha starts 25th. And Jeremy Boz 26th. So that is your starting lineup for tonight's race. Get this up. I'll get some logos up, pay some bills, and of course it wouldn't be a race unless unless my SDK broke in some way, shape, or form. Get that back up and working. There we go. I like it, Martin. Yep, we're gonna do it for the Biff. We're gonna crank this thing up, I think, on lap 16. We'll ride along with some guys for a minute. Well, Buffalo, you're definitely missing out. I think the Xfinity cars are going to be my play for next season. We do have Road to Pro coming, which we'll be streaming that on Tuesday nights. I'll be in the car trying to qualify, see if we can't get my pro license. I probably don't have a snowball's chance in you know what, but hey, we'll give her a shot. All right. Let's focus on Mr. Gutierrez there. He's in the orange and white in the picker's truck. All right. Well, we saw Gutierrez crank pretty good last week. We'll see if he can do it again this week. Per the iRacing admin, or the YESCAR admins, they will be radio silent during lap 16. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to crank it up for Biff, and let them sing. But these guys are going to get ready to go green flag racing as soon as Chris Gutierrez hits the restart zone. We're off and running. This is one of those tracks where you're going to have to get this car forward quicker than later. It's going to get tougher and tougher to actually pass as things start to go on here, as they're about 3, almost 4 wide down the backstretch we go. Joe Sullivan to the outside in the 16 Hooters truck. And we've got Connor Walbeck coming to the inside. 3 wide behind him. Sullivan's going to sling it around the outside, and he's going to put a biffle paint scheme to the lead. Everybody chasing Joe Sullivan at the moment. We'll see how well he makes it through 1 and 2, if he can hold that lead. I think that mid to high lane is going to be your best shot, and try to arc it through as much as possible. But everybody's chasing the Biffle machine right now down the backstretch. Man, you see the sparks coming off the cars, which is going to make things even more interesting. It means that things just not laying over the way you would anticipate. Off the back of Joe Sullivan we go. Rickle's going to try and follow as best he can with Walbeck in third. Rickle going to dive it to the bottom. I think Sullivan's just going to try and hang out at the top, try to save as long as possible. But Rickle's going to give him a fight. Wilson up the inside. He's all by himself. Walbeck to the outside now. He's going to go around Rickle. It's going to shuffle him back to third. Around the front stretch for another time. Coming to 4 to go. Or 4 laps in, I should say. And it looks like it's pretty green. Go a little bit further back. We're off the back end of Tyler Holden Wheeler. Donnie, what is going on, my man? Long time no see. It's a hornet's nest back here. You got Big Duke in this. He's up to 5th. Chris Gutierrez has fallen back to P6. So your pole sitter has fallen back. And Connor Walbeck has taken the lead away from Joe Sullivan, and we'll see if he can't check out. As you've got 3 of my 87s drivers working together right now. Move back a little bit further. Thought I heard Big Duke for a second. Looks like Keith's fallen off the back of the pack. Still a hornet's nest out back, but Sullivan and Walbeck starting to kind of get a little bit of a gap here. Rickle's falling back. Big Duke is on the move. You know, we heard Rickle last week. He said that if anybody can save tire and fuel, it's the man in the 78. So Big Duke up to 4th so far. He's up 6 positions since the start of this race. And now we're seeing Chris Gutierrez start to come back forward. Your pole sitter from earlier. He's right there with Big Duke. It looks like Travis Tressel's on the move. He just went by Taco John. He's going to see if he can't pressure Holden Wheeler. Ooh, Taco barely made it in there. He's got Garrett Bobo behind him. Taco goes back out and around Travis Tressel. Back to the front we go. We've got the 8 of Tyler Staton. He's trying to get past Joe Sullivan, and Big Duke's still trying to make his way through. But it's all Connor Wolbeck out in front. Watching Big Duke, he's looking for any air he can find to try to go around these guys, and he shoots the gap to the bottom side of Joe Sullivan. He's going to see if he can't pull Tyler Staton with him. Ooh, Joe Sullivan gets the wall. It's going to let Big Duke pull ahead just a little bit. Whoa, and there goes, was that Chris Gutierrez to the bottom. He's going to go around Big Duke and Sullivan. So Chris looking to go back to the front after slipping back to about 6th earlier. And now we've got Rickle coming back to the front. There's a lot of shuffling going on here. I'm just waiting to see somebody not blend in the right spot. Things get a little wild, and next thing you know, somebody's around. Looks like Keith's off pace currently. I don't see any damage to that truck, so I don't know if he got clipped. So hopefully he can get a caution and get back up there. But Chris has cleared Big Duke. Top 4 are all single file. We got one on the wall, and that's the 09. That was Holden Wheeler. In the inside wall he went. Doesn't look too terribly damaged. We'll go back here and then we're going to go blimp on this. $16 just gets him a little bit, and up into Travis Trussell he goes. About 3 cars involved, really. But it looks like Holden kept it. Oh, man, the 61 of Robert Kempf just got... He just squared him up there, so not sure if he just didn't see him or what. But that's good news for Keith. That'll let him get back up to the front of the pack here, or the back of the pack, I should say. 10 laps in. And now you're in a funky position. Do you take tires now? Or do you not take tires? Or at least fuel. I think if it's me, I'm taking at least fuel. Try to, you know, stay with everybody. And I think everybody's coming down pit road here. I don't really see anybody coming or anybody staying out. So Connor Walbeck led onto pit road. We'll see. Oh, Big Duke with the splash and go. And it looks like Joe Sullivan going to come out right behind him. So quick splash and go. And we're back underway. I think saving a set of tires might be the call here. Because I'm pretty sure they're probably going to get about 20 laps. Rick will correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you're probably watching it while you're in car. And I think everybody is back out. So we still got 23 trucks on the lead lap. Okay, we got 21 laps of fuel. Oh, and I just figured out why my clutch pedal was making noise. Apparently the pedal face decided to loosen up. We'll have to fix that before I go racing again. I've been good, Donnie. We've been really busy with a lot of things, you know, between broadcasting and racing and everything else. So it's been a busy year to say the least. And next year is going to be even busier. So all right. Let's do that. You know, Rickle, you should probably tell everybody that everybody's in there with a big timer since Taco got that win today. See how many guys actually. Sounds like quite a few took tires already. Oh, Donnie, it's there's certain things right now that people are still working on that, like the cars are just kind of funky right now. So I don't think you're missing too much, but I like how you slid that in there, bud. Oh, gotta love Rickle. All right, pace car is going to duck off. We're going to get this thing restarted. Big Duke's in the lead. Joe Sullivan's to the outside. The top 5 at least are on fuel only. So I have to see how quickly the old tires or the new tires really start to catch up here. Big Duke getting out to a decent little lead right now. He's 0.3 over Chris Gutierrez. A lot of varying lines around here. There's like that low lurker line. There's the high lane. Like, it's kind of what's your pick? What's your call? What's your strategy? Are you trying to save tires or are you just trying to rip it for the front? As Big Duke leads down into 1 and 2 again. But you've got like 4 wide down the back stretch. Or almost out of turn number 2 there, and they've already got a decent little gap. And I don't know if that's just the fresh tires. Like, what are we seeing there? So, like I said, it'd be interesting to see when the new tires start to come for the front. Although we got that WNIS winner creeping up to the front. But keep in mind, guys, here on lap 16, when these guys get back around, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna crank it up, we're gonna do it for the Biff, and give everybody a moment here. Actually, I'm going to step aside just a little bit early, and we'll give you guys just a couple of laps. Alrighty, well, that was for the Biff. Connor Wolbeck out to the lead. He's got about 0.4 over Rickle. We've got quite a little group here. You got Big Duke down there on the inside. Chris Gutierrez just a little bit further back. Tyler Statt to the SFRG paint scheme. We're on board with him right now. And then we got Taco sitting in 6th. Your WNIS winner from earlier today, Holden Wheeler, sitting in P8. Joe Sullivan's back to 9th, trying to hang on since he did not take tires there. Then we got a hornet's nest back here. You got Andrew Winans, Ty Smith, Joe Wint, Charles Abbott, Josh Laughlin, Juan Velez, all in this group. And then we've got to come back a little bit further. You got Ryan Perrone in the 50 truck. Tim Wright in the number 16. Travis Tressel is 18th. Keith Powell, apparently he started from pit road to kick things off. So that was a whole planned thing, but Keith up to 19th so far. And we got Paul Boomershine, B3, Rob Kempf, and Paul Lawson rounding out the rest of the field. But back to the front we go. Still all Connor Wallbeck up front, I'm pretty sure, and we're actually gonna check this. We will show that on screen. He pitted on lap 10 with a pit time of 14.9. If we look at Big Duke took a splash, 2.3 seconds. So Connor Wallbeck is on fresh tires at this point. Let's see what Rickle did. Rickle also on fresh tires, and Tyler Staton as well. So a lot of these guys, if they stayed out and took fuel only, or well, I shouldn't say stayed out, but if they took fuel only, definitely not exactly the call that I think anybody wanted to make, but it's a tough decision, right? Like, do you take the tires and call it a day, or do you keep them on the shelf, pray for a late race caution when nobody else has got tires, and try to come back from that? Taco John getting passed by Chris Gutierrez there. He's going to dive it to the bottom, see if he can't make up some time on him. Side-by-side action right there with Chris and Taco. And then we got, looks like Joe Sullivan in a three-way battle for, was it about an 8th or 9th position? Oh, we're looking 4 wide. Back down to, nope, we are 4 wide now. This ought to get interesting. Oh, into the wall. No caution. There it is. There's the caution. And that was the 25 truck of Ty Smith. We'll roll that back. It took quite a while to get that caution to pop out. So now you've got your guys that didn't take tires that are going to take tires. So this will change a few things. But yeah, we were 4 wide. And it looks like the 40 got tight. Nowhere to go. I'm just amazed that it took that long for the caution to come out. But I think Joe makes it through fairly unscathed. 25 truck, a little bit of damage there, but nothing too crazy. So, but we'll go back to the front. So now we're 22 laps in. So did the guys that took tires at the 10 lap mark, I mean, I think I'd come down for fuel and get out of there, but you know, it's gonna flip back the other way at this point. So we will have to see who's going to come to pit lane this time. Oh, of course, that camera's busted as all get out. I love that. Love that for me, as my wife would say. And it looks like everybody's going to come down again. Yeah, there is not one person that is staying out on the track. So Connor Wallbeck led on to pit road. We'll see if he's your first one off. He is. He takes fuel only. Down and away he goes. I do believe, Buffalo, that it's, I think they're down to 50%. They could get 21 laps out of a tank right now, so. Sounds like there's... Oh no, Rickle got busted speeding. So Rickle's headed to the back. Keith, it's all good, man. It just makes the night more fun. And it looked like we got a wave around out of the 61 right there. So he'll be back on the lead lap. Connor Wolbeck going to start things off. You got Tyler Statt to the outside. All right, we are headed into turn number 3. Lights on the pace car off. We'll go green this time. We got some new faces up front. Garrett Bobo up front for the first time tonight. We got Juan Velez up here. Andrew Wines is in the mix. Travis Trestle's made his way forward. So we'll see how this plays out. I think a lot of guys taking just fuel here. A lot of differing strategies at this point, as there's a stack up in the top of the back. They do keep it rolling. Connor Wolbeck going to try and get away from everybody on fresh tires if he can. Gravity, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Travis Trussell catching a little bit of the wall there. Seeing a little bit of dust fly off of it as we come off the corner. But it's all Connor Wolbeck out front again. Tyler Staton is going to try to hunt him down, and Travis Trussell is going to swing it way around the outside, see if he can't rim ride it like Kyle Larson. He gets stuck behind Big Duke at the moment. We see Chris Gutierrez starting to make his way up through the field, 3 wide with Juan Velez. Juan's just going to drop and fall in line here. Then we got a 3 wide situation with Taco and everybody behind. 3 wide off the corner. Everybody blends back together. Big Duke's on the move now. See him go to the inside of Garrett Bobo. He's going to mail it down into turn number 3. Let's see if he can't close in on Connor Wolbeck. It's getting a little wiggly off of 4. I think that makes things a little bit more interesting. We'll see if Big Duke does a swing out again. We can get some speed back in that truck, and it looks like he's going to stay in line for the most part. Seems like he's kind of got his little pattern figured out, but now he's going to dive into the inside of Tyler Staton and go after Connor Wolbeck as we go down the back stretch. And it is a hornet's nest in the back. You see the 09 and the 40. Big Duke gonna shove it back to the inside again. Man, you can start to see who's coming forward. The 002 of Josh Laughlin, 3 wide, and I'm trying to see, that's the 16 truck of Timothy Wright. He's on the move pretty quick. You got to imagine he's one of the guys on fresh tires the way he's starting to cut through the field. It's getting hairy back there. Big Duke going to try to go to the inside of Connor Wolbeck. He takes over the lead for the moment. He clears Wolbeck, and he's going to try and check out. We get ready to cross the line for 40 to go. I keep seeing back here by Holden Wheeler, it keeps going like 3 wide, almost 4 wide at points as he tries to take it to the outside. of Travis Trussell. We're going to come off the corner 3 wide. Garrett Bobo falling back a little bit here. Taco on his way forward. Connor. Oh, Chris Gutierrez challenging Big Duke for the lead. Oh, we got one around in the back. Oh my God, Travis Trussell goes for a ride. See if I can't. I gotta find him. Let's go blimp. Oh, wow. Up over the top. Truck bounces, skids on its lid. Yeah, he's going for a ways on the roof. Sounds like Travis's night may be done right here, unfortunately. What's up, Nick Earl? Well, now we're another 10 laps along, so now it's going to flip again, I think. If they keep getting cautions with every 10 laps, it makes things very interesting because they're only getting a half a fuel run. Drivers are talking about it in chat about how hard this is to predict. It looked like Big Duke and Holden Wheeler stayed out. Interesting strategy. Guess we will see how that goes. I was checking in on some other racing. I see that everybody's favorite other YESCAR man, Mr. Captain Killam, he's running the fixed WNIS, running second right now with 5 laps to go. Yeah, we'll have to see if Cap can hang on. I'm actually going to keep my TikTok up so we can check on things, but all right. Lights are off on the pace car. We got Big Duke starting up front. We got Holden Wheeler to the outside. Joe Sullivan going to be to the inside behind Big Duke there. All right. This is where things, like I said, it's going to get interesting. We're 33 laps in. Strategies are out the window. So now at this point, it's every man for himself, I got to imagine, because some guys are on tires, some guys are on fuel, some guys didn't take no fuel. So gonna be very, very interesting as we get ready to take the green here. Pace car ducks off. It's on Big Duke when we hit the restart zone. And it, oh God, they're wrecking in the back already. And we're already under caution. Sounds like Andrew Winans had a wheel disconnect. I'll see what happens here. And it's like right as soon as they go green. There was a checkup. Oh, man. Ryan Perrone in that. B3. Whole bunch of people. So, that's a thing. Well, I wonder how many guys are going to come back down and get fuel again. Well, Cap's got 2 laps to go. Leader is 17 seconds up on him. They were going to try and shorten the caution here if they could. There he is. We got Big Duke up in the house. Well, you know, yeah, I'm crawling this race. We're checking out Cap's stream. He's just taken the white flag, running second place at WNIS. So I'd say it's a pretty decent night tonight.
Not bad, not bad.
So
I forced a screwed up strategy. That first pit stop, I didn't even take fuel. I came in, I thought I was in 3rd gear, and I shifted it down to 2nd. In actuality, I was in 2nd, shifted down to 1st, and when I hit the brake, it kind of spun in the pit box, and it wouldn't pit because I was at a bad angle. So instead of backing up and trying to get squared up, I just like, oh, screw it, I'll just keep going. And I was a lap and a half away from having to make a green flag stop when that last caution came out. So that
you got lucky then.
Oh, very lucky. Very. So now I'm just on the, I stayed out here. It's still a 1-stop race. I'm going to probably try to get it to about lap 55 or so, and maybe make my final stop there. We'll see what happens with these cautions if we get one.
Yeah, see,
I don't know. The tires are my favorite. I still got 2 sets left. See.
Yeah, see, and that's that. I've been wondering who's sitting on tires, who's spinning tires. Like, where's this playing out? But you know, I know this place. I suck in the truck here, so I already know that it tends to get very loose, especially with the way that I drive. But you know, so staying out and everything is kind of that gamble. But if you can force guys to have to take tires at different points, then I think it makes it more interesting, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I think I want to come in about lap 55, but I don't know. Maybe I'll stretch it to 60. I'm not sure, dude. This kind of race got turned up on its head there. From
Yeah.
that first lap 10 caution, we had an in between, and I mean, it helped me out, but it still turned it on its head.
Right. So.
But anyway, I was just popping in and say hi. Good luck here. Good luck. Good luck to me, right? Have a good rest of the broadcast. Did Cap wind up finishing second?
He did get second place in the WNIS, so
nice.
Nice run for him. So, well, I'll let you go for the restart. Good luck, buddy.
Yep.
Hopefully it works out
back
for
in
you.
with you later on.
Sounds good.
We'll see, bud.
Yep. All right, boys. We're about to go green flag racing. Big Duke was up in the house. Let's see if he can hang on to it, shall we? And we're green flag racing. Hopefully they can get through without a checkup this time. And it looks like they do. So down into 1 and 2 we go. Now we're going to find out whose strategy worked the best and if anybody came down and took fuel again. A couple of guys popping the wall out of the corner. Sounds like Keith might have tapped the wall or come into something. I'm not really sure. But he's still rolling as they're about 3 wide all the way at the top. It's going to get tight. Rickle was 3 wide in the middle. Back to the front we go. Joe Sullivan trying to get to the bumper of Big Duke. The 09 of Holden Wheeler trying to hang on as well. And I see the 16 of Timothy Wright starting to sneak in here too. Holden Wheeler starting to put some pressure on Joe Sullivan. He's going to run that bottom lane, see if he can't shorten the track up a little bit. Get back to Big Duke's bumper, and then he's going to mail it around the outside. I like it. I like it. This place really allows for the driver to get creative. Big Duke going to throw an aero block. These boys are racing hard, though. Joe Sullivan going to go by on the bottom side. Holden Wheeler back up the track. Big Duke and the rest of the Hornet's Nest behind him. You see right across that start-finish line, it is wild as we come back here by Ty Smith. Everybody back to single file at the moment, but you can bet we get through into 1 and 2 here, and they're going to fan out like crazy. Oh, 1 wound up 3 wide. Everybody saves it. Tyler, it depends on the car. Sometimes it gets kind of boring. But Holden Wheeler is going to try to make that push on Big Duke. He's been committed to that outside lane. I'm curious to if he can get it done. Headed down into 1 and 2 right now. Big Duke said he wanted to make it to 55 before he pitted. So we'll see if he can do that. Hopefully these guys can get some green flag runs in. Ooh, 3 wide back here, back down to 2. I'm looking at Chris Gutierrez. They were 3 wide for a minute. Connor Walbeck hanging on. Rickle deadlocked, as you can see. Big Duke still maintains the lead. But man, that 16 truck is coming in a hurry. There's so much action going on around this racetrack. It's tough to call. Look at Rickle. Yeah, about the top. No, we're going back to Garrett Bobo, I think. Garrett's the back end of the lead group. So we've got a 13 car pack here. Then we come back to Taco, who's leading Charles Abbott and Paul Boomershine around. Well, we got one falling off the pace. Rickle got shuffled out. Go back to the front, and just like that, Holden Wheeler shoves it to the bottom, and he's going to try to go around Big Duke. Big Duke going to come back on the high side, and he's getting split like crazy. Man, this is exciting. So Holden Wheeler goes from first to like fourth in the matter of a straightaway and 2 corners. As now we're, like I said, we're finally starting to get some green flag run in. I think if we hit green flag stops, I think it's really going to stretch things out, and it'll be green probably to the end. We've got 25, almost 24 laps to go. Oh, that 25 truck getting real loose. That was Ty Smith that bounced it off the wall and almost counter wall back. Chris Gutierrez has made his way to the lead silently and quickly. Might be a strategy of Big Duke's try to save a little bit of fuel up front. I just want to look and see. Charles Abbott's about a second and a half off of the back of Keith. So I think these guys are starting to kind of close in a little bit on your lead pack, as the lead pack has been fanned out 8 ways to Sunday. Chris running that mid-high lane as we get ready to come off a 2. Big Duke right there with him. Ooh, oh, and Rickle goes into the outside wall. Let's take a look at Rickle, and we'll go to the blimp. We're going to back it up a little bit. So it's a 4 wide situation. He gets doored. Oof. That's rough. Oh, I'm sure Duke is just clapping away right now. Because that plays... He had 1.8 laps of fuel left. So, yeah, he's absolutely pumped at the moment. The nice thing is we made it almost to lap 50. Tyler, you're not wrong, man. Ooh, we got one. Sounds like they're gonna take fuel only for sure. I will say, sitting here in my basement in Michigan calling this race, I'm starting to think that Mother Nature may be sick or having a PMS cycle. It's been very interesting as far as weather goes, and it is almost sweltering in my basement, so it's fun. We hit a high of 51 today, and tomorrow it's going to be 23, so making things very interesting. Connor Walbeck saved a set of tires here. Oh no. I think somebody spent a fast repair possibly. Buffalo, I thankfully don't live in the UP. I've been up there in March when there's still snow on the ground and a ton of ice on Lake Superior. Don't wish that on anybody. But I enjoy living in the middle of the mitten, I'll say that. All right, so the lights on the pace car are off. Chris Gutierrez is going to bring us to the green. Remember, he didn't take tires. I believe Connor Walbeck did not take tires either. Big Duke, on the other hand, he said that if he could make it to 50-55, then he's good to go. So, oh, Buffalo, you were in the fun part of the UP, where it probably gets the coldest and probably is the snowiest. Good old Copper Harbor. All right. Pace car should duck off when we get out of turn 4. I'm pretty sure we should be able to make it from here. It's only 20 laps to the end. We are green flag racing. We'll actually get across the line with 19 to go. Man, it's already 3 wide back by Keith. Rickles on the move. Chris Gutierrez hangs outside, but Big Duke is coming through. Big Duke to the lead down the back stretch. And I think, unless something wild happens, we get a caution, that sort of thing, we may see those fresh tires start to walk away from everybody. We got Joe Sullivan coming through. I believe he's on freshies as well. Connor Walbeck trying to hang on as best he can on old tires. Chris has fallen back quite a bit, trying to get to that high lane. Got Juan Velez coming forward as well. I see Tyler Staton in there, Taco John's in there. I believe there was Josh Laughlin in the 002 truck there off the right side of your screen. A lot of different lines coming into play. But it's Duke and Tim Wright out in front. Everybody else chasing. The 09 goes by Chris Gutierrez. And we see Rickles starting to come into the picture now, sitting there in about 11th. Connor Walbeck back to 5th right now, 4 wide down through, I believe that's turns 3 and 4, back down to 3. So the one thing about this place is always the blending areas. Are you going to clear before everything blends back together? Kind of roll back 4 wide. He's going to drift back even further. He doesn't want to drift much further back because otherwise he's not going to be able to capitalize in the event of a caution. He'll have to burn the tires off. But Big Duke leads down into turns 3 and 4. As I see Taco is on the move. He's all the way on the outside wall. He's going to try and get around Connor Walbeck. Connor throws it up in front of him. We got Keith sitting in 11th right now as well. Everybody battling around this track, digging for every inch, every little piece of traction. Joe Sullivan up to 3rd. Man, these trucks get really wick-wacky left and right, it looks like. Sullivan trying to make his way towards Big Duke. The top guys are starting to kind of string out a little bit. As Joe Sullivan's going to shove at the inside of Tim Wright. See to get the drive off the corner. Whoa! Juan Velez is real loose. He saves it. And it's a battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th right now. We've got a little bit of a gap now between everybody. With the top 9 all within striking distance of the lead. Rickle on the back end of that as they're 4 wide through 1 and 2 again. Big Duke starting to open up a little bit of a gap over your 2nd place, which is Tim Wright. I mean, it is an absolute hornet's nest back here. They kind of settle out, and then it gets nuts again in the corner. We'll move back a little bit further. Joe Wendt going to lead the 2nd pack with Paul Boomershine. I think most of these guys are the guys that didn't take tires here. So they're all kind of running a similar pace. Oh, if we got a caution right now, Tyler, it would really shake things up. I think you'd actually see the field almost flip. We got Tim Wright trying to shove it to the inside of Big Duke. Can he clear the man? We've seen a lot of people challenged, not anybody able to capitalize yet today. Big Duke opens up a 3/10 gap almost as he dives it back down to the bottom of 3 and 4, and he's going to open it up to 0.4 just through the corner. Holy cow. 10 to go across the stripe. Joe Sullivan try to dig back around Holden Wheeler there on the bottom. And now we're starting to hear some comments about the drafting package again. How it's terrible. And Joe Sullivan's found himself at the back of this pack now, which is uncharacteristic for him. Nine laps to go. Big Duke leads. Tim Wright's 2nd. Tyler Staton is 3rd. Garrett Bobo's 4th. Holden Wheeler 5th. Kyle Wilson was 6th. Now he's 7th. But Taco John's 6th. Joe Sullivan 8th. And Juan Velez 9th. Paul Boomershine's running 10th right in the next pack down. Mover of the race so far tonight, though. Paul Boomershine up 14 positions to 10th as Timothy Wright catches the wall. It's going to let Tyler Staton go by him. Now they're starting to run some very different lines. See if they can't break away. Big Duke up 0.2 so far, but not able to really bust away from this pack like I think we thought he was going to be able to. 3 wide back behind Taco. John Taco up to 4th. Rickles trying to come through to 5th. Let's go back here. We'll watch the battle for like 4th, 5th, 6th right here. Is Rickles going to go underneath Garrett Bobo? Oh, Rickles is trying to get moving forward. He just cannot clear Garrett Bobo. It's him and Joe Sullivan touch. And he has completely lost touch with Bobo at this point. And it's all Big Duke out front still. Tyler Staton trying to get back to him. They're going to have to get back in line with the draft model working as funky as it is. They're not going to be able to fight each other. They're going to have to go for these guys and see if they can't get back to them, as the top 4 have kind of made a breakaway. Oh, Big Duke blocks to the bottom. Still Big Duke out front. And Tyler Staton goes to the lead on the high side. Can he make it work? Does Big Duke start to pull away on exit? Staton is ripping the outside. Does Big Duke have time to block? He does. Duke back to the bottom. I think it's still anybody's race. You see Garrett Bobo starting to creep back into the picture. He's at 1.35 and closing on your leader. Four laps to go when we cross the stripe. Big Duke up 0.4. Big Duke trying to break that draft and get away from these guys. So we got 4 laps left. Looking at Garrett Bobo, he's lost a little bit of time, but they're fighting behind him. So if they keep fighting, they're never going to make the leaders. There's contact between Rickle and Holden Wheeler. Back to the front. Big Duke out 0.5 at the moment. Three laps to go. Taco trying to get around second and third place on the bottom side. He's just got no help right now. He's going to have to make the run, I think, coming off of 4 and pray that he can arc it down in. Two laps to go. Big Duke still sitting at about 0.5. I think if these 3 can work together, I think they can run him down. They've already got him down to 0.3 right now, but they're going to have to stay in line. They can't let Big Duke drive away from a pack of 3. They got him down to 0.4. They're going to have to really make a push on this last lap. And it's going to have to be a group effort, unfortunately. This thing's in the books at this point. Big Duke with a 0.3 second lead. They've got him down to 2. They're going to need to ride the rim as hard as they can to try to make the pass on him. They're trying. He's closing quick. I don't think he's going to have enough time. To the outside he goes. He's going to bail it around. I think he's going to run out of time. Big Duke going to come home with a win. Tim Wright's going to finish second. It looks like Tyler Staton third. Taco John fourth there. That was a wild finish. I didn't know how much the tires were going to play into it. You're going to see here in just a second, though. Well, all right, so Big Duke comes home your winner tonight. Timothy Wright second. Tyler Staton was third. Taco John fourth. Joe Sullivan hangs on for fifth. Rickles sixth. Holden Wheeler seventh. Garrett Bobo's eighth. Paul Boomershine ninth. Charles Abbott is 10th. Josh Laughlin 11th. Joseph Wint 12th. Keith Powell 13th. Ryan Perone 14th. Connor Walbeck, after not taking tires all the way back to 15th. B3 16th. Paul Lawson 17th. Chris Gutierrez 18th. Ouch. Go a little bit further back. Rob Kempf is 19th. Juan Velez 20th. Ty Smith 21st. Andrew Winans 22nd. Travis Trussell 23rd. Tyler Bryan, Josh Dillaha, and Jeremy Boz did not start. But that rounds out the rest of the field. We'll see if we get Big Duke in here in just a second to talk to him about his race win. Overall, pretty fun night of racing in store. These usually are. A nice solid week before the break. Oh no, Juan, I wondered what happened, man. Because I seen that you were like 5 laps down. That's not exactly what you wanted to see, but well, Big Duke, you pulled off the win. You hit the pit that you really wanted. I heard through the grapevine that you were a little ecstatic on your stream.
Twice this race, I was 1.5 away from having to make a green flag stop and 1.8, bro. It couldn't have fallen at the better times.
Now the question is, did you have a set left in case we got another caution?
I was good. So yeah, that first pit when I screwed up, I didn't take those sets. I didn't even take the fuel then. So we were good to go.
We saw with a few laps to go there was that block coming down the front stretch. And it seemed like if anybody was going to get around you at that point, it could have been lights out because of the way that the draft model's seeming to work. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I felt really good about my line, and I felt like if anybody got to my outside, as long as I could hang with a side draft going into a 3 or 1, I felt like I was okay. But then on transverse of that, if anybody got to my inside, I think who did? I believe Timothy got to my inside 1, but I pinched and didn't let him, come up out of the corner, and he kind of had to roll out of it to keep from pushing up into me. And I kind of used that to my advantage. But that's being in the lead, man. That's you got the open track to do that. And I hate to have to throw blocks like that, but I mean, you got to, or you're gonna wind up not being able to do interviews.
That's very true.
And we like doing interviews,
right? Nothing wrong with an interview.
No, not at all.
But well, you know, it seemed like track position was obviously everything to a point. It seemed like if you know, we saw Connor and Chris not take tires there, and it wound up biting them. But it seems like the draft package with this is a lot like what we've seen so far with the Gen 4, and if you're just on fuel only, it's gonna make for a long run.
Yeah, man, it's really the drafting package is tough right now in these things. But on the flip side of that, though, the tire, I love the tire model. The new tire model is phenomenal. I really am loving that. I hope they can fix the aero part of it. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You gotta kind of manipulate the air and go places where people aren't.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that I've been playing with a new tire model with the 87s at Daytona, and it's made super speedway racing in those cars even interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna find out tomorrow night with YESCAR 3D coming back. And I don't know. I don't know what night you're broadcasting this week if you are, but yeah, it would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think the plan will be Saturday night. Just because I've been trying to hit the WNISs on Friday night since it's like the prime time, and for some reason we have not been finishing before 10:30 because, you know, cautions apparently are a thing.
Yeah, apparently so.
Well, I don't know if you got a chance to run Charlotte last week. But cautions were abundant. But but we're road course this week, so it's 45 laps. I mean, realistically done in an hour. So, but if we're done early, I'll slide you guys in on Friday, but for sure Saturday. So
yeah, 10-4. It sounds great, man. Looking forward to it.
I like it. I'm very curious to see how much it's going to shake up YESCAR on Friday and Saturday night.
So we've changed YESCAR 3D Lite on Tuesday, Wednesday night. We've changed that to Xfinity now.
Oh,
because the trucks are just not. It's just not a fun. It's not a fun car to race in a shootout. You can't like make up any ground. So we started running Xfinity on Tuesday, Wednesday nights now.
Oh, that makes things interesting too.
Yeah, and they're fun. And hey, I tell you what. Oddly enough, those things are much easier to get on pit road than the trucks. They stop on a dime compared to the trucks.
Oh yeah, the Xfinity slows down real nice.
Yeah, it gets woed up real quick.
Yeah, yep, I'll believe that. So yeah. But all right, bud. Well, good win on the night.
I just wanted to mention real quick. Shout out to the Biffle family and keeping everybody involved with that, and the pilots and everybody else that was on that plane involved with that in our prayers. We're thinking about them over at YESCAR. Sad day for the racing community as a whole, especially the NASCAR community. So that was for Biffle and his family. Also thanks to Keith and everybody over at Keith Says Yes Motorsports. We just got our vehicle for thermal sweep today, so things are progressing nicely with that down here in Florida. So a big shout out to Keith for everything that he's doing for the iRacing community as well.
Agreed.
And for broadcasting, bro, you do a great job. We appreciate you,
dude. I try to kill it. You know, there's nights where I'm tired, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
But well, good win on the night tonight, bud. We'll let you go, and I'll hopefully get to talk to you again tomorrow night.
Hopefully so. We'll talk to you later, man. Thank you again.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks everybody over at YESCAR. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. All right. Well, that was Big Duke, everybody. That's going to be it for me up here in the booth. I'm going to call it a night myself. So thank you to everybody that stuck around and watched as always. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'll have the WNIS from my cockpit. So you're not going to want to miss that. And then we'll have some YESCAR 3D either tomorrow night or Saturday night. If we get done early enough, then for sure it will be tomorrow night at its usual time, which is about 10:55. We'll go live with that. So until then, everybody have a good night, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.